Sterling, okey. Sino kasi yung papagawang final project na 'yan, 'wag na magawa ng final project. Lahat happy-happy lang tayo. 'Di joke lang. Asa sige ano ko na 'to, 'yan sige. Sige sumama kayong gumagawa ng final project, so do your best na makinig. Ano, kayo naman yung magagaling kasi sa mga multitasking. Ah, so crude oil refining, ito na yung ano natin, this is who we are, ano. So ito yung ating future nandito. Ano, kunwari si Ivan nandito sa ano, tangke ano, diyan siya nagtatambay. Chine-check niya yung pressure ng tangke. Kahit meron naman transmitter, kailangan pa rin ng manual kailangan pa rin ng manual operation na i-double check kung ano yung signal na receive sa taas, ano. Kunwari si Richmond naman nandito sa baba 'no, kakarating lang, evening shift kasi parang paggabi na ano, kakain muna sa canteen. Yan pala nagkakaroon na ng incident dito ano, pero pakain-kain lang. Ano pa, ah, minsan yung mga ibang trabaho dito sa refinery o sa mga planta, nasa isang lugar lang kayo for the whole shift. Kunyari ito nasa 15th floor, ano kukuha kayo ng sample for every 2 hours. So, ta's wala pa yung mga elevator. Usually ang mga elevator kasi diyan, ang binibitbit ng elevator diyan yung material mismo. Yung kunyari isang sako ng sabihin na additive, nasa elevator 'yan. Ta's sa elevator na 'yan, since dapat protected yung additive sac na yun, dapat wala siyang oxygen as much as possible. Wala siyang air 'pag siya ili-lift na. So, walang window. Walang window sa elevator na yun, so bawal ang tao dun. Although minsan may ibang mga pasaway, pumapasok pa rin sa elevator na yun para mas madaling umakyat. So, ito yung magiging ano niyo, ito yung peak, peak sa downstream operation nito. Usually yung 'pag mga ganyan, sa ibang bansa, ang hinahanap nila experience. Experience ang hinahanap nila. Then ang tanong na lang paano kukuha ng experience ano? So hanap ka ng kahit anong planta na halos same yung operation. Kunyari ito may distillation column ano, pumunta ka sa planta ng Nature Springs, kung yung mga distillation sila dun, yung raw material treatment nila. Punta ka dun, then that experience can be helpful kung ikaw naman sa pupunta sa isang distillation plant. Sabihin mo experience ka sa distillation, you know how this works, and you know the theory, the philosophy behind these machines, then baka tanggapin ka. Ano, kasi yung mga iba kong kabatch kahit 1 year experience, 1 to 2 years experience nakaka-work sila abroad. Na siyempre, since mag-work ka abroad kailangan mo ng konting kapital. Ano, siyempre mangungurakot ka muna ng mga 500K, ano, nanakaw ka muna ng konti para ikaw ay makatakas sa Pilipinas. So, that, sige simulan ko na 'to. So, ito yung nasa module niyo ano, ito yung parang kabuuan ng ating diagram ng ng ating crude oil refinery, ano. So, pinakauna dito nasa ano yun, feel ko naman 'to iisa-isahin lahat ano. Tingnan niyo ito, crude oil, ito yung galing sa lupa, sa upstream, then desalting. Sa desalted crude oil, ang pinakauna niyang papasukan is an atmospheric distillation ano. Atmospheric distillation, ito yung common natin na distillation, just separating lights from the heavies. Then, yung mga heavies natin pupunta sa vacuum distillation. Kasi 'pag vacuum distillation naman 'di ba, mababa yung pressure, yung atmospheric gagawin nilang zero para yung ano, yung boiling point mas madali niyang i-counteract yung atmospheric pressure kasi zero na ano, mas madali siyang mag-boil up. Ito yung mga heavies natin, okey. Tapos after that, marami na siyang mga pre-treatment, ay mga after treatment, ito na 'yan. Ito yung mga conversion process natin. Ah, ah. Kasi itong mga ano na 'to, itong mga huling part na ito, okey, usually ito na yung mga tinatawag na blending ano, nag-a-add na ng mga additives. Ito yung mga gasolina natin ano, iba-iba yung color nila, iba-iba yung color nila para ma-distinguish kung ano yung, iba yung octane rating. Ano, dito yung nangyayari usually sa blending natin. So in this, mataas ang responsibilidad ng isang process engineer. So the process engineer, yan na yung mga chemical engineers. 'Pag sinabi kasi nating chemical engineer, hindi yun mismo yung nasa laboratory ano, yung mga 'pag nasa laboratory, ang tawag diyan chemical technician. 'Pag chemical engineer, yun yung, siya yung gumagawa ng PFD nga, PNID. Also helping develop PNID and assessing the unit operation between separate equipment, ano. So, unit operation ibig sabihin yung mass balance and yung energy balance. Okey, kung saan pupunta yung, mass, magre-remain ba siya, ano yung efficiency niya, may mga loss ba, ano. So, lahat yan tinitingnan ng ating process engineer. So, moving forward, so what is a crude oil refining? Again, ito ay uh, represents the process of converting crude oil into useful products. So, ito yung mga useful products natin. Ito na nga, yung ating fuel. Pinakaunang useful products nito ay fuel, ano, for transportation. Then the others are uh, used for petrochemical. Okay, so dito, um, ito, majority of 85% of the refined products from medium type conversion engine are lighter fuels, ano, and middle distillate. Ibig sabihin, yung ating di ba yung distillation column natin, ano, itong part na ito, yung lighter, yan yung ating majority, okay, according to a study. Kasi, kasi yung demand, yun yung demand natin. So, kunyari, ako ng plastic, ano, petrochemical, naphtha. So, how would you able to transport it if wala kang fuel na pang ano, pang-transfer ng raw materials? So, transportation always comes first. Kaya, much more of the demand comes from the lighter products, which are the fuels, gasolines, and middle distillates. So, ito, balik tayo dito. So, the main objective of petroleum refineries is to convert as much crude oil as possible into transportation fuels, di ba? Sabi ko, that are economically valuable. So, transportation fuels typically boil between 25 to 350 degrees Celsius, and anything higher than that, ito na yung mga ah, heavy hydrocarbons natin. So while refineries also generate various petrochemical products, their highest volume and most profitable outputs are gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and light heating oils. Ano. So ibig sabihin, ito yung mga nasa upper part, lighter hydrocarbons natin. So ito yung demand. Ibig sabihin, pag ito yung na-generate natin, nasa taas, ano, 85% or 85%. Ibig sabihin yung 15% ay nasa lower na. So, ibig sabihin, hindi puwedeng mag 100% yung parehas, ano. Depende yan sa demand. Lagi yang mag-a-adjust 'tong dalawang ito, ano. So, ibig sabihin, the crude oil production is a more of a volume-based production of products, ano. Ibig sabihin, when the time comes na mas kunyari nag-uso yung 'di ba sa Tesla, yung Tesla ay electronic ano na siya, battery or electric base, cars ano. Sabihin kunyari assume natin na sa Earth, almost all of the population uses Tesla cars. So bababa ito, yung mga diesel ano natin, yung mga fuels, ganito naman ang tataas. Ano, tataas na yung ating products that is used for, sabihin natin napaka ano, dadaming products ng plastic natin. And with that, lumabas yung ano, demand for plastics and so tumaas din yung somewhat yung supply, it will affect the it will affect the cost and production cost of petrochemicals, ano, matataas yung demand niya. Or better since bumaba yung demand, or either tumaas or bumaba, it will affect the cost. So, di ba, law of demand and supply. Mas mataas yung demand, mas mababa yung, tumaas ang demand, mas mababa, mataas yung cost. Bumaba yung demand, bumaba yung demand, bumaba din yung cost natin. Or in some sense, tumaas yung supply, bababa yung demand. Bababa yung supply, tataas yung demand. Okay. So that is primarily driven by the our transportation. Kaya yung natin, yung pag nagsisimulang mag oil price hike, or bumaba yung price ng gasolina, mapapansin niyo sa mga further days, yung cost ng karne, ng mga gulay, maapektuhan din. Lahat yun nagsisimula sa lahat yan nagsisimula sa presyo ng gasolina, which is right here, nasa taas ng ating crude oil. So itong field natin napaka-influential ito on how the market moves globally. Kasi lahat ng tao kailangan ng gasolina. And then, we have our unit operations, So ito, we have the crude oil. Of course, you have the crude oil distillation unit. Then, vacuum, so for heavy residue. And then, hydrotreaters, so nire-remove yung sulfur, nitrogen, metals, and impurities from various streams using hydrogen and a catalyst. Ano, so we have the fluidized catalytic cracker naman. Ito yung gumagamit ng parang powderized metal. So this converts heavy gas oils into lighter products like us. Sabihin natin yung uh, the plant produces excess heavy gas oils, but the client wants lighter products. So, yung mga heavy gas oil, idadaan niya sa fluidized catalytic cracker para ma-convert siya into lighter products. Para mas maraming pwedeng ibenta yung planta na yun sa client. Gasoline, LPG, and olefins using a powdered catalyst in a fluidized. So, powdered catalyst, powderized and then fluidized, it mean na submerge siya into a liquid slurry. Kaya nagiging slurry siya. Liquid na may, hindi siya dissolve, nandun siya. So, ibig sabihin kumakapal yung liquid na yun, fluidized. Then, we have the reformer. So, it converts heavy naphtha into high-octane reformate and the hydrogen through catalytic rearrangement of hydrocarbons. So, gas treating units naman, for natural gas, removes gases such as H2S and CO2 from refinery gas. So, ito yung ating, uh, then this is a tail gas, and this is a corrosive gas. Ayaw natin yan. Sa environmental regulatory, bawal mag-release ng H2S sa environment. Kasi nakakamatay yan. And we have the blending poles, ito yung sinabi ko kanina. And this is combines various product streams in precise proportions to meet final fuel specifications. So, ano yung mga final fuel specifications na yun? Yung octane rating natin, yung may mga 90 plus, 92 plus, merong 89 plus. Depende sa kailangan ng engine ng car. And you have sulfur, the amount of sulfur content, and vapor pressure. The vapor pressure, kung gaano siya kabilis mag-vaporize, affects how the rate or affects how easily the products vaporize. So we have the gas treating units. So this removes acid gases just as H2S and another CO2. 'no, parang parehas lang yung meaning. Okay, naulit ko lang pala 'tong dust relief. Then we have yung ating crude oil refinery, meron siyang tatlong major process. It has conversion, it has separation, and it has yung isa, transformation. So, ang pinakauna actually is separation natin. Ah, Separation comes first kasi 'di ba siya yung papasok sa distillation unit. Okay, so let's uh, go here. Ito. So one example of a catalytic cracking process is one example of conversion process pala is FCC or fluid catalytic cracking process. Okay? So, isa-isahin natin yung process dito sa diagram na ito. Ano? So, raw oil, as the feed enters the riser. So, itong raw oil na ito yung nanggaling sa ating atmospheric distillation column. So, balikan natin yun sa ano. Ito. So, catalytic, saan yan dito? Ito, catalytic reforming. Okay. So, dito siya sa light. Okay. So, dito siya. Part na ito. Then, glowing pa. Ito. So, raw oil again. Raw oil. Charge. Feed enters the riser. So, nasa yung riser. Okay. So, iba tong riser, iba yung riser na nasa, um, i- iba yung riser na nasa drilling engineering, So, yung riser ito yung large diameter pipe na nag-serve as conduit connecting yung sa subsea wellhead, wellhead to the floating drilling rig or fixed platform. So, nasa babang part siya. Dito naman yung riser dito, ito this is the site where um, ito yung nagmimix yung ating hot catalyst and vaporized oil that moves upward. So, naulan. What? So again, ito the riser. Saan ang riser dito? Ito. Okay. Then, the riser is a vertical pipe where cracking reaction happens and the hot generated catalyst drops down into the riser and instantly vaporizes the oil. So, dito siya. So, may dito. May hindi pinakita dito sa part na ito. Kasi, ang nakalagay dito, the regenerated catalyst. Ibig sabihin, ito yung nagaling sa recycle na catalyst. So, ibig sabihin, meron sa startup ng operation natin, dapat may fresh catalyst feed kung wala pa naman nagsisimula na operation sa reactor. Wala pang laman itong regenerator na ito. So, walang pagkukunan ng catalyst. So, it needs to have a separate separate line that allows catalyst to flow through. So, we can assume na since ito yung riser, ito yung regenerated catalyst, so dapat meron din dito input of a fresh catalyst. Hindi lang pinakita dito sa kinuhaan kong source. Okay? So, in context, anong catalyst usually gamit? So, ito, zeolite. To see the active cracking component, to provide acid. This is active sites where cracking actually happens. So, ito, So this provides active sites where cracking actually happens, so gives high gasoline and propylene yields. So kasing active sites na ito, ito yung kunyari, ito yung ibig sabihin ito yung ano natin, hydrocarbon molecule. So ito, um, yan ay pwede siyang mag-crack but it takes longer time. So itong zeolite na ito, itong powder na ito, pag ito ay nag-come in contact sa ito, hydrocarbon natin, di ba? Yan yung active site. Sabihin may mga site dito where hydrocarbon cracking may happen. So, ibig sabihin sa mga site na ito, okay, magka-crack na yan. Okay, kaya siya sinabing catalyst para mas madali i-speed up yung process natin. Although pwede, in context, yung general meaning ng catalyst is to speed up the process. Sabihin, pwede itong mag-work, itong process na ito pag walang catalyst. Pero in order to save time and money, catalyst is needed. So, thermal plus catalytic cracking breaks the long chains into uh, gasoline, LPG, light gases, cycle oils, and coke. So, coke, uh, kunyari ito yung catalyst natin. Ano? So, yung coke, parang ina-absorb niya yung coking na nangyari dito. Kasi may thermal cracking tayo. Okay, mataas na temperature. So, thermal cracking is expected to have a byproduct of coke. So, yung coke na yan, ito yung coke natin. So, yung mga coke natin, dito siya nagdidikit. Also, it acts as a catalyst and also para siyang mukha. Eh, it acts as a absorbent also for coke. Para mas madali siyang i-separate pag pumunta siya sa regenerator. And next is we have reactor separation vessel. So, nasaan? Ito. This is the part. So, the top of the riser, the mixture enters the reactor or separation vessel, also called as a disengager. So, the catalyst is separated from vapors via cyclones and gravity. Pero combination lang ito. Yung cyclones natin, pakita ko rin yung diagram. Ito. Okay. Okay, so ito, gas, solids in, papasok dito. Then, iikot yan. Ikot yan. Then, due to the difference of density ng product, dalawang product natin. Yung iba will stay on the on the walls, while the heavier is being separated in the center. Yun yung nawawala. Okay. Tapos yung lightest component yan yung aakyat, they tend to rise outside as a product. Okay. Cyclone plus gravity. And then, ito, balik tayo dito. So, the vapors goes to the fractionator for separation. Okay. Dahil yung ating cyclone, di ba? Yung vapor, yung gas tataas. So, dito siya pupunta. Then, After that, so the catalyst falls down, yung solid natin ay pupunta siya sa stripper natin. Ito. So, saan yan? Ito, sa fractionator natin, yung ating, ay wala pa pala dyan. To catalyst, nasa catalyst pala tayo. Falls into catalyst stripper. Ito yan. Ano? So, the most catalyst is zeolite, in the way, in-explain ko kanina. It is active, ano, anion acid. Then, let's go to the catalyst stripper naman. So, the catalyst stripper removes entrained hydrocarbon. So, yung nagamit na catalyst natin ay pupasok sa catalyst stripper or the regenerator. So, may mga laman pa yun ng hydrocarbons. Expected na may laman pa yung hydrocarbons. Ang ginagawa nito ay gagawin natin yung catalyst. Tatanggalin natin yung uh, excess hydrocarbons that were unreacted going back to the regenerator para yun unreacted hydrocarbons ay dito siya. Lalabas siya as flue gas to particulates and removal and energy recovery. Kasi mainit yan. Ano, yung mainit na yun ay gagamitin elsewhere para ma-absorb yung init. Kaya siya tinawag na energy recovery. Then, uh, steam is injected to strip remaining hydrocarbons. Ito. Okay. So, mayroon kasing ano dito, definition. So, the steam helps atomize the VGO. Okay. So, yung, okay. Ito. Okay. So, ano tayo? Ito. Steam helps atomize the VGO or the vacuum gas oil, breaking the heavy oil into tiny droplets. So each one can quickly contact the hot catalyst. This allows faster heat transfer, efficient cracking, and prevents the fluid from forming large coke-producing globules. Okay? Ibig sabihin itong yan ako siya. Yung mga heavy oils natin, ano? Mga heavy oils natin. Okay? Yung mga tiny drop, yung mga ano natin, yung ito yung mga heavy oils natin. Tapos may come in contact siya ng water. Ano, may water siya. Then, ang magiging result niyan is, okay, yung water naman, ano siya, water will convert those crude oils into tiny drops. Kasi mga crude oils nandito. Ano, so parang ina-atomize niya. Yung tamang ano yan. At steam atomizes the crude oils para mas madali na siyang mag-contact sa hot catalyst natin. Kaya may steam dito. Ano, so yung mga catalyst natin, sabihin natin, violet natin. So, yung mga catalyst natin, di ba powder yan. Ano, so each one can contact here. Ano, okay, ganyan nangyari. Supposedly na pag ito kasi yung crude oil natin ay dispersed, mahirap i-control yung reaction niya. As opposed to naka-breakdown siya into smaller droplets. So, ganyan yung philosophy behind kung bakit may steam tayo. And then, vapors from stripping go back up to join the reactor effluent. So, ito. Okay, ito yung mga vapor natin dito. Hindi lang pinakita, ano. But some of them are treated again. Tapos maaari siyang bumalik dito as isama dito sa pump na ito or another pump that feeds recycled hydrocarbon para punta siya dito. Ano? So we have another. So the strip catalyst, ito, moves to the regenerator. Wala. The strip catalyst moves to the regenerator. The strip coke-covered catalyst flows into the generator. So dito siya. Ano? Sabihin na strip yung natanggal. Yung natanggal na ano, na ito. Ito pala yung catalyst stripper natin nandito. Ano? Yung natanggal, pupunta siya dito sa regenerator. Okay. Correct ko lang. Nandito pala yung catalyst stripper natin. Ito yung regenerator natin. Ano? So the catalyst regeneration that inhibits burning coke. So nabublow ng combustion air. Ito. Ano, ibig sabihin, pag regeneration kasi, tinatanggal yung coke. Tandaan niyo yung butadiene natin. Butadiene process. So sa reactor doon, dalawang reactor yun. Tapos, gumagamit ng preheated steam to remove the coke between the two reactors. Para isang reactor nagre-regenerate, yung isa ay uh, working or operating. So in the here naman, so combustion air is blown, it burns the CO and the CO2 from the cracking resulting from the riser. So burning release a large amounts of heat, typically 650 to 700 degrees Celsius. Then the regenerator produces hot regenerated catalyst. So ito siya. Kaya siya mainit kasi meron tayong pinasok na combustion air. So back to the riser again. And then the flue gas, may flue gas tayo dito. These are cleaned and released. Then itong hot regenerated catalyst naman turns to the riser. The hot catalyst flows down and regenerated and flows down the regenerated catalyst standpipe. Ito. So steam regulate flows. So fluidize the catalyst again. So na-mention ko kanina. It enters the riser again to contact fresh feed again. Ito. So ito yung ano, parang circulating loop ng catalyst natin. Itong part na ito. Ano, then the reacted vapors again, balik tayo dito. Sa fractionator na siya. Where these are enter the main fractionator, they separate by boiling point. So ito na siya. Again. Then the heavy bottoms ay napapadala siya sa settler through a pump. Ito. Okay? Or it can be, so dalawa yung route niya, di ba? It can go back to the fractionator. Or it can be, um, or it can go to the slurry settler. So ito, mayroon hindi pinakita dito, di ba dapat meron dito heat exchanger or our reboiler para i-boil up again, then papasok sa fractionator. Okay? Uh, ito. Yun, meron tayong sinatawag na treatment. So treatment, from the word itself, so this removes impurities, especially sulfur, and mixes them, mixes the intermediate streams into final product specification. So nasa end, ano na siya, and process na siya before the blending. So, meron tayong mga example ng impurities dito. We have the sulfur, we have the nitrogen, and we have the metal. So, hindi ko na yan parang isa-isahin pa. So, pwede na yan inyong basahin. Then, let's go to ito. So, how sulfur is actually, how it is actually removed. So, pinakauna, bakit ayaw natin yung sulfur? Ano? Di ba meron tayong tinatawag na sweetening and sour of hydrocarbon. So, pag sour, yan ay may sulfur content. Pero pag sweet, yan ay walang sulfur content. Okay, little to none sulfur content. So, ito kasi yung mga sulfur natin, present yan sa mixture ng ating hydrocarbons. Sulfur, itong mga sulfur compounds kasi natin, It has it can create so the sulfur itself again, ang sulfur mismo hindi yan ano, hindi siya toxic mismo sa humans unless ingested ano, unless inhaled. Pero 'pag dumikit yan sa skin, it has little to none side effects. The sulfur kasi, this is the element that produces H2S or the H2S or the hyd hydrogen sulfide and also sulfuric acid. Meron din ano, yung ating mga SO2, okey. Itong mga ito, yung SO2 natin, yun yung nagle-lead sa, acid rain, ano 'pag na-release sa atmosphere. Tas sa H2S naman, ito yung toxic natin, it is toxic. Kasi it also, poisons the catalyst, okey. Sabihin kung yung catalyst natin nag-activate, yung sulfur naman dinede-activate na yung catalyst mismo. And then, ano pa? So 'pag mataas ang ating sulfur content, binababa niya yung quality ng ating gasoline and yung performance niya. Because the sulfur, interacts with the reaction process, ano yung combustion process natin. 'Di ba ang combustion process natin ay yung hydrocarbon lang. So the HC plus O2, ano, and then the product. So 'pag minalo kang S diyan, okay, some of these may be unreacted and will produce a different product. So it interferes with the quality of our fuels and our gasoline. Okay? So how is sulfur actually removed? So isa-isahin natin. So sour gas, ibig sabihin meron pa siyang mataas na sulfur, enters the absorber. So this contaminated gas containing H2S and CO2 or the acid gases enters the absorber tower from the bottom. Ano? Pag mga liquid, lalo na kung absorption column, ano, lagi ang entrance niyan ay from the bottom. Ano? Kasi yan ay pag absorption, yung ating ano, yung liquid sometimes yung nasa taas, gas yan usually. So yung ating liquid sa baba yan para ma-fill up niya equally yung ating ano, yung ating bottom, ano, then yung ating absorber ay nasa taas siya. Usually ito ay gas, ano, kasi 'di ba ang gas natin, it tends to always rise upward. 'Pag may pinasok kang gas dito, ito ay yung upward muna ang mapupuno bago siya ay bumaba. So iba yung kanyang movement ng gas and liquid. Kaya nasa baba yung liquid natin, nasa taas yung gas. Okay. So balik tayo. So the lean amine, ano, yung amine natin, yung amine natin, yan yung mga hindi na naka-specify dito kung ano yung amine. Pero yung amine, yun yung class ng organic compounds natin derived from ammonia or NH3. So this is used as absorption unit to uh, absorb H2S and CO2 from the rising sour gas. So ito yung sour gas natin ulit. Tapos ito yung amine natin. Papasok yan dyan. So lean, pag sinabi kasing lean, sabi halos uh, pure concentration ng ating uh, product. So, the sweet gas leaves the absorber. So, wala na siyang H2S and CO2. So, sweet na siya. So, ang problema naman natin yung absorber natin. Meron na siyang H2S and CO. So, kailangan natin siyang i-separate again. So, after the H2S CO2, the most clean sweet gas exists at the top of the absorber. So at this point, tapos na, na-remove na. So makeup water is added periodically to maintain amine concentration. So nasaan yung makeup water? Ito, makeup water. Okay. Then rich amine collects at the bottom. Okay. Now, now loaded with H2S and CO2. Okay. H2S and CO2. Ito. As the rich amine is pumped through a heat exchanger. So nasa yung heat exchanger na yan. Ito. Ano. So where it is preheated by the hot lean amine returning from the regenerator. So nasaan yun? Ito. Okay. Ayan. So ito yung lean amine na ito. Ito yung sa sinasabi dito na preheated. So nandito siya nagaling. Kasi may reboiler dito. And then pagkatapos niya maging preheat, that is it enters the top race of the regenerator. Okay. Dito siya. Ano, ito dapat meron dito. Okay, bilang na drawing. So it uses steam to boil part of the liquid amine. Okay. So this heat strips out the absorbed H2S, sending them upward. So itong part na ito, dito na to siya ating parang distillation column natin. So dito, pumasok yung rich amine natin dito, then punta siya dito, then the reboiling process starts, or the distillation process starts. Tapos yung dito, since H2S and CO2 are considered lights, they escape to distillation column through the overhead product. Tapos mayroon tayong reflux drum o yung ating accumulator. Tapos yung accumulator naman ay sinaseparate niya yung gas and the liquid. So the liquid comes back as a reflux to be distilled again. So ito yung ibig sabihin yung H2S and CO2 natin nandito siya. So to summarize, sour gas enters the absorption unit. Then the absorber absorbs the H2S and CO2. So ang tawag dyan ay rich amine na. Then the rich amine is then pumped through a distillation column. The distillation column separates the amine, the lean amine, and then separates the H2S and the CO2. Okay. So this can either be flared out na kasi H2S and CO2 are undesirable. So wala na siyang pwede pang gawin na product except to be burned out to air flare. And itong part na ito parang ito na yung reboiling system natin, ay reboiling distillation system natin. Which I know, you already very aware of that. Then ito naman ay uh, another version of a desulfurization process. Okay, ito lang ay may na siya, meron na siyang mga specified temperature and pressure. So meron tayong part na separation naman. Ito yung pinakauna actually. We have the sa pinakaunang separation process natin, we have the distillation and extraction, crystallization, and absorption. Uh, some of these processes are mainly for treatment na siya. Okay, hindi siya treatment pala. Another separation pa. Kunyari ito. Um, ano yun? Ano yun? Ito absorption. Ito yung sinabi ko kanina ano, ina-absorb niya yung H2S and CO2 from the from the sour gas, making them into sweet gas. Ano. Then we have the primary distillation na. Ito yung ating atmospheric distillation. Ito. Then in order to produce these products, then we have the secondary distillation. Ito yung heavier hydrocarbons that is further distilled para siya maging light distillate or maging gasoline siya ulit. So middle distillate, maging naphtha, heavy distillate, and asphalt bitumen. So yung ating pre-treatment ng ating crude oil, desalting, ano, ito yung pinakaunang tatanggalin natin sa crude oil, the salts. Okay, so why salt needs to be removed? So salt needs to be removed primarily. Chloride, salts of sodium, calcium, magnesium from crude oil um, for two critical reasons. So to prevent corrosion and to avoid fouling and catalyst poisoning in downstream equipment. So meron kasi tayong tinatawag na salt hydrolysis. So yung salt mismo, hindi siya yung salt itself is not a impurity. So the products created by the salt is the main impurity natin. So nakalagay dito, salt itself is not highly corrosive in crude oil. But when exposed to high temperatures inside the atmospheric distillation unit, it undergoes a chemical transformation that creates highly corrosive acid. Ito yung corrosive acid na to. Ito na yung nagkakos ng material degradation. So salt hydrolysis, a chemical reaction that, kunyari, example natin ng salt ay MgLCl2. Okay. So, tingnan yung equation. So, yung ating MgCl2 or the magnesium chloride, when reacted to two modes of hydrogen with heat, it creates magnesium oxide and our hydrochloric acid. Sino yung natin, the corrosive acid natin. Okay? So this HCl then condenses with water vapor at the cooler top sections of the tower or the distillation column and overhead lines, forming concentrated hydrochloric acid. This highly corrosive acid wears out the steel equipment, causing rapid degradation and leading to equipment failure. Apply unplanned shutdowns and safety hazards. So, ito natin na fouling. Ano? So, judging from the picture, this is, sabihin natin ito yung tubes natin sa shell and tube exchange. Nagkaroon tayo ng fouling. Ano, due to hydrochloric acid acting as a corrosive substance through the metal equipment. So, ito, ito video. Akala ko video to eh. So, ito yung galing sa YouTube. Ano, walang picture pala to. Nalagay ko hindi video. Sige. So, meron tayong dalawang desalter. Single stage and we have the two stage. So, ano, pinakauna, so single stage natin, we have crude oil being pumped from storage and preheated using heat exchangers. Ano, exchangers. So, fresh water and chemicals are added to dissolve salt. So, ibig sabihin, yung crude oil natin, I mean yung water, ang nade-dissolve niya lang yung salt, but not the crude oil. And then, uh, so the mixer passes through a mixing valve. ang mixing valve. So valve acting both as a flow regulator and also a mixer. So inside the desalter, an electric field makes water droplet merge and settle at the top. Ito yung ating tubig o yung ating mixture na yung tubig kasi hindi pa nakalagay dito. Break crude water emulsion. Ano, so ibig sabihin, crude oil and water at this part already mixes with one another. So kailangan natin siyang i-separate. Uh, Kailangan natin separate yung crude oil and yung water. Then, inside the desalter, an electric field makes water droplets merge. Ayan. So, yung mga water natin, nasa taas na siya. Dito na. Okay. Ito na siya. Separating brine. Okay, di ba pag brine, ang sabi natin ng brine, that is a mixture of salt plus water from clean crude. Clean crude. The desalted crude is reheated. Ito, yung desalted crude natin is then reheated to a furnace na. Then, so preheat pala. Then to a furnace. Then to an atmospheric distillation column. So, dyan na magsisimula. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, in a crude oil refinery plant, salt muna ang kailangan tanggalin. Hindi yung H2S and other impurities or sulfur. Kasi salt mismo, the salt itself can, ano kasi, yung salt, ang dinadamage niya yung equipment mismo. Pero yung mga impurities natin, ang dinadamage niya yung ating product. Ano, so, kailangan pinakauna, ibig sabihin, para ma-secure na secure yung process safety ng ating equipment, kailangan muna natin tanggalin yung mga substances that damages the equipment itself. Ano. Then we have here the two-stage desalter. Two-stage desalter. So, in the two-stage desalter, para may secondary treatment pa siya para matanggal yung salt. So, crude oil again is pumped. Then, before being mixed with the wash water, ano, and chemicals at the mixing valve. Okay, so itong wash water na dito yung nanggaling dito. Ano, so the mixture enters this first desalter where most salts and solid in water are removed through an electrostatic separation. So ito siya. Hindi lang nilagay pero may tayong electrostatic separation. Then the partially desalted crude oil flows to the second desalter. Ito siya. Where fresh water provides deeper salt removal for tighter product specification. Okay, so ibig sabihin mas mataas yung purity ng crude oil natin. Then to a mixing valve, then to the second desalter. Brine from both desalters is drained to the disposal. So, nasaan yan? Drain na yan. Nandito yan. Ano? So, ito po yung valve. So, ito. Okay, so ito ay drain siya dito. Okay? So, madali na lang i-follow yung process ano, kasi may description na dito. So, finally, the twice desalted kasi two-stage siya is heated in the charge furnace and sent to the atmospheric distillation column for fractionation. Yeah. So, itong ating two-stage desalter, if the plant itself wants to have a specific concentration of crude oil para mas ma-ensure na wala talagang salt na pupunta sa sa papasok sa sa lahat ng process that the crude oil will go through. Okay? So, okay, ito na yung last slide ko. And then, hopefully, may balak akong balikan dito. itong mahaba-haba na ito. But I will discuss that on a separate session na lang. Okay, kasi as I said, di ko lang kukunin lahat ng time niyo. Ah, okay. So with that, sabihin yung ating remaining topic ay partly crude oil refinery, then process safety na lang. Okay. So with that, may mga tanong pa ba kayo? Wala na? Okay. Remove ko lang 'to. Okay. So with that, hmm, please everyone open your cameras for our attendance. Okay. Okay. Everybody, Harvey pabukas ng camera. Hindi ko alam kung nakabukas yan or mabagal lang yung internet ko. Sige, nasaan kaya si Richmond? Sige, malalaman na lang natin yan. And then, everybody, 3, 2, 1. Ayan. Ano to? Yung kasama mag-shadow si Tan? Ano, may alien dito. May bagong phone yan, guys. May iPhone 15 yan. Dapat siya yung nag-screenshot eh. Ah, wait lang. Sa Microsoft Word. Di pala nakabukas. Wala. Wait lang, naglalag. Ayan. Isa pa, wait lang. Ayan. So, isa pa. Sige. Ano tong Kibeya Fate? Wala akong makitang, ano, wala akong makitang tao. Baka questionin ako ng department. Sige, isa pa. Isa pa. And then, ako pala yung hindi nagsasmile. Ano, picture na ako ng picture dito. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, thank you everyone for attending our makeup class. And I will see you on our next class sa Monday.
Thank you.